Hey guys, it's Kim and I'm back with another flower tutorial. This time we're going to make these cute and adorable burlap flowers. I have another one here too. Different burlap. One is white, one is an ivory color. And you can see, they're both slightly different, but aren't they pretty? I just love them. And I created some of these for some projects I recently did. But I just think they're so pretty. I love them. So I thought I would come on and show you guys how I made them. Now, of course, you need burlap. Now, there is a difference in burlap. Some of them have a more open weave, and they'll be a little easier to tug the fibers out of. This is not the best tutorial if you've got arthritis in your hands. I will say that because pulling the fibers is not super fun if you've got sore hands. So I do this on a day that my hands do not hurt. So basically you start off with a strip, and I haven't measured this as normal, and of course I still don't have my ruler. And but anyway, it's, well, what, about, I'm going to say 15 inches long, this strip. It's fairly straight, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I could probably trim this though. And you can make these in any size. So your strip can be 12 inches. The longer the strip you make, the fatter the flower you're going to end up with, right, when you roll it at the end. So probably these, I use like a 15 or 16 or 18 inch strip on these ones. Okay, so what you do, you get your strip, and you need to leave a little space at the one end, the one side of the strip, and the other side, and you're going to pull the fibers out in the middle. So, and you're going to end up with something that looks like this. And you can see there's a little piece at the bottom and the top, but I've pulled all the fibers out in the middle there. So you only end up with fibers going up and down. And you need to keep the fibers going both ways on either end so it stays together. Now when you pull the fibers out, you're going to end up with these. Don't throw these out, because we're going to make flower out of these too, but that'll be in the next video. So this will be my next flower that I show you guys. So let me show you what you do. You get your strip, and you're going to leave a piece, like I said, at the one end. You need to have that there just for stability. So I usually start, a few threads down, and when I'm starting at an end here, I usually pull these fibers off with my fingernail, because it just makes it a little easier. You can see how easy that fiber comes out. So then you've got something to really grab onto here. So I'm going to start with this fiber here, and you're just going to grab that right there, that little tiny string. You're going to grab that and you're going to pull it. Now the first one is usually quite tough to pull out. So you just have to be patient, but you tug on that one fiber and it'll start to curl up like that. So just keep moving it down and moving it down, and keep tugging and keep tugging. And you might say a few colorful words like blue and green and yellow and fuchsia, but just keep pulling till it comes out. Now, because this burlap was not even, you can see when you've pulled that fiber, see how close it gets to that area. So now would be the time that I would straighten up my piece of burlap, and you've got a good line to straighten it up. So I'm going to cut this edge off right here to straighten this fiber up. Well, to straighten this piece of burlap up. And again, these are flowers, handmade. They do not have to be perfect. So let's just trim that up. So now I'm going to have to start again because it was uneven. But the problem with burlap is, and you'll find this when you do this, is that because it is such a movable fiber, it's very, very hard to get these straight. even if you used a self-healing mat and a rotary cutter, which I have done, not with this piece obviously, but because it's, you know, it's pliable, it moves, and the fibers stretch and things in burlap, so it's hard to get it even. So you've just got to have patience with this flower a little bit. So now we're going to try that again, and I'm going to move down a couple of fibers down here so I can still leave a piece down there. So let's move down to about here and see where we get with this fiber. So I just picked a fiber out right there, and we're going to pull and keep on pulling and keep on pulling, and even though it's hard to pull, we're going to keep on doing it. After you get the first one out though, the ones after that are a little easier to pull. They're not this hard to pull, but it's because it's the first one. So there you go. Now here it comes. I can feel it. You'll feel it go. So now you just pull, and out it comes. Again, don't throw these fibers out because these make great flowers as well. So we're going to keep all of those. All right, so now you can see I've got that line and I've got a little edge there. So now I'm going to keep going in a line. So I'm going to do the next fiber after that and pull that one. And pull. And again, this one will be a little faster and a little easier. And once you get going, I move my scissors out of the way here. As usual, my desk is a mess, so sorry for that. What can you do? I'm a messy crafter. I don't know about you guys. I'm just going to keep on pulling and pulling and pulling. And you just keep right on going. And grab the next fiber in the line and pull, saving your strands each time. Keep on going, and you can see you're starting to get your line there. So you just keep on going, and it doesn't take long once you get that first fiber out to pull these out. You just keep on going. So we're just going to keep on pulling. I mean, if you can get 2 out at a time, do it, but I don't seem to have the strength to pull 2 at a time even, but that's me. But if you've got good hands, then sure, give it a try. And don't worry if these pieces come off. That's not a big deal. Like these, like you can see here at the end, that's coming off, but don't worry about that. No biggie. The piece is long enough, so that's okay. So we're just going to keep on pulling. Oops. Keep going. Pull, pull, pull. So you get the idea, right? I'm just pulling and pulling and pulling. There we go. So you can see now we've got a good line going. Wow, you can really see how crooked that is. Try and do it straighter than me, guys. So anyway, that's what you get when you pull. Then you end up with what I just showed you, which is this piece here. And you're going to get fibers everywhere, just letting you know. So then you end up with a piece like this. And you can see what's happening. So now you're going to move on to your next step. So now there's 2 ways to do this. Okay, you can use hot glue here, or you can use double-sided tape. I've actually done both, and I actually prefer using some double-sided tape. Now this, let me just cut that piece off. This is a very thin tape, so you know, use whatever tape accordingly, and you're just going to tape one side. And it does stick to the burlap, believe it or not. So you're just going to put the tape down, push it down on the burlap on one side, on that edge there. And then you're going to cut it. Make sure that that is pushed down. And then you're going to peel that off. But of course, it's probably not going to cooperate because I'm trying to make a video, right? Because it never does when you're doing a video. So you're going to try and get that off. But again, you could hot glue if you wanted to. There we go. And you pull that off. So now you have one side with sticky and the other side not so sticky. So then you're going to take your piece and you're going to fold it. This edge here to that edge. So you're just going to fold it over on top of the sticky tape. And you're going to go all the way down, and it does stick. And again, it does not have to be perfect. If it's a little crooked, no biggie. So you fold it all the way down on top of the tape. I don't know, I just felt like, because you're going to glue it in the next step, and if you have glue down there too, I don't know, I just found that it made it kind of bulky. So that's why I use tape, but you use whatever is good for you. So now I'm just going to trim that right there and any loose pieces you see here. So then you end up with this, which is, you know, the piece at the bottom here, and then the loops are now there. So I'm sure you can see what's going to happen now. Now you're going to start to roll it. So you start at this end, one end, and you just roll it in and get a couple of rolls going, and then now you want to glue on that bottom edge right here. And you just keep rolling, and you want to keep your bottom edge nice and straight, and don't worry about these, you're going to cut them off anyway later. So you just keep on rolling. Now I like the middle part to be kind of tight, as you can see here, and in this one, and then as you get out into the outer turning round, whatever you want to call it, and the outer parts of the flower, oh boy, brain fart, sorry guys, you just keep rolling it, and you would roll it a little bit looser. I think I like it better that way, because if it's too tight, then it doesn't quite puff open the way I liked it. So make a few, experiment, and see what you like. Now just keep on rolling, but always remember to keep this even, the end of it even. Don't worry about those. Keep rolling and rolling, and as it gets bigger, like I said, just loosen up your grip a little bit on it and add glue every so often, keeping your bottom part even so it's nice and flat. And then you add glue as you're going along. And you keep rolling and add glue. So you can see if you had done glue on the first part where I put the tape, you could see it might get a little bulky. That's why I preferred the tape method. I watched probably like 5 or 6 videos on this, so they're out there if you want to watch other tutorials. Just do a search for burlap flower and it'll come up, I'm sure. So now that you're getting towards the end there, right, you're just gonna make sure your glue gun works and then finish it off and roll that around. Now that's what you're going to end up with. So you want it to puff out. Now I would puff this out first, I think. Maybe trim these, I don't know. So you're going to end up with that. So now you want to puff it out. So you want to kind of, I push a little bit from the bottom, but you don't want to push that center either. So what I like to do is I take my flower and turn it upside down on my desk, and I give it some gentle pressure and just kind of twirl it in one direction like that. And then you get this. But then you can just sit and play with it, pulling these fibers out a little bit. And you can pull up the middle if you want to, just a little bit to make it a bit dimensional, but you know, just play with it a little bit until you get a flower. You can pull that up. Look at that, right before your eyes. So that is the rolled burlap flower. And this is what you end up with. So that is the rolled burlap flower. So fairly easy, right? And different weaves of burlap, you will get a different effect. This one here, this one is a softer, really soft burlap, and this one isn't. This is a more coarse one, and this one is this one. So it's pretty soft. And then all you do is you just put your little felt circle on the bottom. You definitely need a felt circle on the bottom of these ones, I think, because otherwise you're going to end up with some fraying problems, unless you're gluing it right on top of a project or something. But other than that, I would just put the felt circle on. Now see, that popped up. So because I didn't have glue on that spot, you can go back in and glue that if you push it up too much from the back here, which you do not want to do. It's okay to pull it a bit, but you don't want to pull it up too much. You just keep playing with it, you know, and pull the fibers a little bit and puff it out. And the more you pull it, but don't pull too much, otherwise the whole thing might fray. But once you get it to this point, I think you're pretty good, really. They're so adorable and cute. I love them, and they all turn out different, which is lovely. So this is obviously a bigger one, and see, you can see all three of those are different. So that's how you do that. And if you have any questions, do let me know. And I will be back with another flower tutorial. I don't have one handy, I don't think, of the fiber one. But we're going to make flowers with all of these fibers that I pulled out of the burlap. So stay tuned for that. That will be the next flower tutorial. So I hope you guys will give these a try. Let me know if you have any questions. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.